Alright guys, so this is part 8 of the Paranormal series. This is probably the weirdest story of the bunch.
By far. I've had a lot of strange experiences, like I've said before, not because I want to have strange experiences. I would like to not have strange experiences, but I've had a lot of strange experiences. This is probably the most unexplainable one and the most confusing. And so it's really kind of hard to describe the story because none of it really makes any sense.
And we all saw it differently.
And it doesn't piece together, and everybody saw something different. So it's really weird. So we live in Arizona. I've been in Arizona almost all my life. I've been here since I was 3.
Yeah.
I moved from upstate New York, and I went to school out here, I think. Here in Arizona, we have this area called the Superstition Mountains. And so if you don't know anything about the Superstition Mountains, they're mountains. They're called the Superstition. They're out east of Mesa. And the Native Americans, I guess, have a lot of stories about the Superstition Mountains. There's a lot of weird things that happen in the Superstition Mountains.
Essentially, the Native Americans believe that you're supposed to respect the mountain.
Right.
And, like, that's where, like, the gods are, and you're not supposed to go in them.
Right. And I never really paid attention to much of that. I mean, I paid attention to some of the lore of the Superstition Mountains, like, mostly stuff about the Lost Dutchman, within the Lost Dutchman's mine.
Yeah.
Like, I know a little bit about that. Pretty much that's my extent. I know that the Geronimo,
yeah,
the Apache, like, he used to take his guys up into the mountains and he would hide, and like they couldn't find him. The army
because you can
couldn't find
hide
him.
really easy in there and get very confused in there.
Right, apparently.
But I've never been. I'm a little afraid.
We have been.
Well, I haven't been in it.
Well, kind of.
Who knows?
We were there.
But
So this one particular day, it was Bridget. How old were you?
I was
15.
Maybe 16.
15? No, you weren't driving yet.
I didn't drive till I was 18.
That's true. So, I don't know.
I was like 16, 15.
Yeah, something like that. And I was dating this guy. Should I say his real name or?
Who cares? RJ.
Okay, I was dating this guy. His name was RJ. And it was a particular Sunday where we really didn't have anything to do. And so we decided to go to this place that's out in East Mesa called Goldfield Ghost Town.
Out by the Superstitions.
Out by the Superstitions. And
we were going to go eat lunch.
We were going to go eat lunch at Goldfield Ghost Town. They have like a saloon there. We were going to go eat lunch there. And I've been to Goldfield a few times. They say that it's a original ghost town. And apparently at one point in time there was some kind of mining town there back in the day. But I remember when I was younger, there was nothing out there at all. And then all of a sudden, these buildings that looked old popped up, and they were like, Goldfield Ghost Town, original ghost town. I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean, maybe at one point there was something there, but I highly
at one point there was something
doubt
there, but it's not the buildings that are there now.
No.
The buildings that are there now are just...
It's just like rawhide.
Yeah, kind of. Or like, old Tucson, like a movie set type of... I hope I'm not killing it for Goldfield right now.
No, because it's sick.
It is cool. It is cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. That's why we were going to go there. So we decided, and it's a drive, maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah.
From where we lived in Tempe. So we drove out. We were going to drive out to Goldfield Ghost Town, which is not unusual. It's a Sunday, should be open. It's always open.
It's like an amusement park.
It always has lots of tourists. Lots of tourists there. They have food and shops and a mine tour and like a train thing and...
Yeah.
So and people dressed in costume, they do the shootout stuff. The saloon girls, whatever. Typical Old West tourist trap.
Yep.
And so, we headed out there, and this is where it gets weird, because everybody remembers something different, and none of it makes any sense. So I don't think we should tell it like simultaneously, because then it's going to be all kind of messed up.
Well, let's tell my version of Goldfield and then your version of Goldfield.
Okay, go.
Okay. So I was in the back seat. I remember pulling up, and the moment we got up there, I kind of started panicking, which is weird because I don't usually have like social anxiety or like, any of that crap. So I started like panicking because I saw these 2 like miners sitting, staring at us, making me feel really fucking uncomfortable. And then coming down the road at our car was like, if you've ever seen Westworld, it was like a man in black, like the cowboy all in black coming at us, walking straight towards us, looking me dead in the eye. And I was like, immediately, I was like, we need to get out of here. We need to get out. Like, I kind of started freaking out. So that's what I remember seeing.
At Goldfield.
At Goldfield.
Okay, this is how I remember it. We pulled into Goldfield, and usually the parking lot is a dirt parking lot. Usually it's full of cars. There is nobody there. There was no cars. There was no people on the street. There was no tourists. It looked like it was closed, pretty much. And I'm like, why would it be closed, you know? We pulled in and we kind of parked right in the front where we're looking right onto like a balcony, you know, wood balcony, like Old West. And there were two miners sitting there in like the full miner, but they have costume characters there. I mean, they have people that dress up.
Yeah.
There was two miners sitting on the thing. And Sydney just tripped on the cord of the camera. That's why we both went, what the hell are we doing? Like, we're filming here. Anyway. So, and they were then, and they're sitting there, and they were looking at us just like mean.
Yeah.
And I was like we're not supposed to be
like
there.
Dead into our souls.
So I thought, oh, they're closed, and like we're not supposed to be here.
But then why would they be sitting there dressed?
I don't know. And then I didn't see the cowboy that you saw.
Mm-mm.
Like, I didn't see that. And RJ was like, we need to go. We need to go.
We
he
all
was
were
freaking out. He
we
was
all
like,
were doing the same thing.
We need to go. And so I turned around in the dirt parking lot, and as I was doing that, there was a woman dressed all in white, standing in the middle of the parking lot with like an older camera, like on a tripod, taking pictures. And so I don't know if we got in the way of the picture, like she was taking pictures of the miners and we got in the way. That's the way I felt about it. And then we left. But I'm the only one of the three of us that remembers the woman in white.
Yeah, I didn't see
which
that
is
at
strange
all.
because she was like right there. Like she was looking right at us. And so we left there. That's not that weird. Maybe they're closed. They were doing like a photo shoot for some kind of promotion and we got in the middle of it. I don't know what happened.
But if that's so, why didn't they like block off the entrance?
I don't know. But no one else was there. So it was like they were closed. So
Yeah.
logically, I'm going to say they were closed and we screwed up like their photo shoot. Because that's what it looked like.
I wonder if we looked up like photos of it, if we could find a photo shoot.
Maybe. Except that no, you guys don't remember the woman in white taking the pictures. And
No.
why was she dressed in a white dress taking pictures? Like,
I
that
know, that's
doesn't make
fucking
sense
weird.
either. And so we decided, okay, we're not going to go to Goldfield. So what we'll do is we'll continue up the Apache Trail. They call it the Trail of Tears or the Apache Trail because that's where they walked the Apaches when they walked into the reservation and a bunch of them died. It's like the Trail of Death or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go up the Apache Trail because at the very top of the Apache Trail, which is just like this windy scenic road, at the very top of the Apache Trail there's this itty bitty little town with like a restaurant and like two other things called Tortilla Flats.
And that's an actual ghost town.
Yeah, it is. That's a real deal. So I said we'll go up to Tortilla Flats and we'll eat at the restaurant there. You know, we'll take, it's just another.
Yeah, and we were like, it shouldn't be closed. It's only 12.
Yeah, and it's Sunday.
And it only take us like an hour to get there.
Yeah, and it only take us like an hour to get there. It's a nice little drive, whatever. So we start going. The first thing that do you want me to do my version first?
Yeah.
First thing I remember when we were driving up there is just feeling like really lethargic. Like all of a sudden just feeling like really lethargic and almost like dream state. I don't know, it was really strange. I don't remember any of the music that was on the radio, which is weird because we would always like listen to music, sing along, make fun of music, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we were driving. I remember we crossed like a little bridge, not like a covered bridge or nothing like that. They don't have those here, but just like a little bridge over like a creek or whatever. And as soon as we crossed this like little bridge over the creek, RJ and I both saw, and I do not use drugs. I'll just say that I don't use any kind of drugs. We weren't drinking, nothing like that. RJ and I both saw this bird. It flew like right in front of the car, like right in front of the car. It was this bird, and it was big, and it was like hot pink, like fuchsia, and had like a long tail on it, and it was like fuchsia, and it almost didn't even look real. See, this is where the story gets funky. It didn't even look real. It looked like it was like CGI or something, like it came out of like Avatar, and it was like a hot pink bird. And RJ just starts going off. Did you see that hot pink bird? Like it came out of nowhere, and then we couldn't see where it went because we're like driving, and he's like, it's a hot pink bird. I've never seen a hot pink bird. I'm like, neither have I. And I've never seen, and I looked online after that, like there's no birds like that in Arizona, let alone like anywhere. Like there's no, it was not like a flamingo. It was like, I don't know what the fuck. And it looked fake. It looked like CGI. I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like a glitch in the system or something. That's the way I'm going to say it now. Glitch in the system. Been watching a lot of the internet. But, and then we kept driving, and I just remember feeling really lethargic. And then we got up to Tortilla Flats. And when we got up to Tortilla Flats, like, nobody was there either. It's like the world was closed down. I don't know what was going on. It wasn't a holiday. So, I don't know. I remember seeing 2 people in Tortilla Flats, like a young couple, and they had a baby. And they were changing the baby's diaper, like, on a bench. And they never made eye contact with us. They never acknowledged that we were there. I remember walking around that little area, which is only like 3 or 4 different buildings with Tortilla Flats. But I can't really remember much else. I remember we tried to go into the restaurant, and it was closed. And there was a man on the other side of the window that just gave me a look like, you know? I'm like, why would it be closed, you know? And we kind of wandered that area, and we weren't there long. So now, you know, I mean, we left the house like 10 a.m. in the morning. We got to Goldfield probably about 11:30 at the freaking latest. Now we're up in Tortilla Flats, so that puts us at like, what, 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
And we couldn't eat there, and there was nothing to do, so we walked around maybe a total of 20 minutes. We kind of looked at the other stuff that was there. Like, they have a mannequin that's like hanging like a hung man. And Bridget and I had been talking about the mannequin on the way up there. Like, oh, they have this mannequin, you know. And Bridget, and then we read some stuff that was on a wall. Went in like a little schoolhouse thing. But the whole time I felt lethargic and like floaty. I don't know how to explain it. Like when you're in like dream state. It was really bizarre. And then when we got into the car to go back home, the sun was still up. The sun was still up. Everything was sunny. But the car clock said it was 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it can't be 8 p.m. because that would mean we lost like 6 hours and the sun is still up. So I was like, there has to be something wrong with the clock in the car.
Yeah.
Like, there's something wrong with the clock in the car. And we started driving back, and I don't remember very much about the drive back, except that when we got down into Mesa, to Main Street to come back into town,
It turned dark.
all of a sudden it was dark. Like, it was like somebody shut the lights off. Like, the sun was just gone. Like, the sun didn't go down. Like, it was just gone. All of a sudden it was dark. And it was 9 o'clock. Like, and it really was 9 o'clock.
And then for the first
like,
time,
our cell phones said 9
it was
o'clock.
for the first time that whole day. And we only looked at our phones because they all started ringing.
They all started ringing.
And you get service at Goldfield. Like,
Yeah.
It's not that far away.
You might not at Tortilla Flat. I'm not sure.
So we should have gotten those texts if it was like, you know, we were just out of service by the time we had passed Goldfield. But we didn't get them till we hit town.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, we only looked at our phones because our phones rang. And then
everybody's phones started going off.
And
yeah.
we had missed calls, missed texts.
From throughout the afternoon. Just throughout the whole day.
And it said it was 9 o'clock. We left for this 2-hour trip at 10.
At 10 a.m. in the morning. Left Goldfield probably around like 11:30. Got to Tortilla Flats. Couldn't have been later than 1. We were at Tortilla Flats maybe a total of 30 minutes at the most. And when we turned to get back in the car, it said it was 8 o'clock, but yet the sun was still up. Then all of a sudden the sun was gone. I don't remember anything in between.
And it was 9 o'clock.
And it was 9 p.m.
So
and we lost like 6 hours.
Yeah, we lost the whole freaking
The whole day. And RJ's version of what happened is completely different than ours.
And my version's different.
He said that when he was up in Tortilla Flats, he saw a deer, and he was looking at and like playing with a deer. There was no deer there.
I watched him walk over to it, but there was nothing there.
He walked over to something. I don't remember that. You say he walked over to something.
He walked over to something, but there was nothing there. And I remember him saying, "There's a deer over here," and I was like, "Where?"
Yeah.
And then I remember in Tortilla Flats, completely different. I didn't see the bird on the way up at all, and I was looking because I heard you guys say that, and I was looking all around. Did not see a bird. So I didn't see a bird. I remember tripping on the way up there when we were passing the Superstitions, and I was talking about how like there could be a snake in the mountain. And
I remember you doing that. There could be a snake that lives in the mountain, and I was like, what?
Yeah, and you on the way home were talking about death and stuff.
I was talking about death and other dimensions.
Yeah, which is weird.
Which is weird because I don't talk about that.
And you don't talk about death because you don't like to talk about it. But I remember you saying, we could drive over this cliff right now and just die. And I was like, this is fucking odd.
But I remember thinking that on the way home, that we could drive over that cliff and die, but we really wouldn't. I don't know why. Like not like I would, like if I did it, we really wouldn't die.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
I was what I was saying to you. Like, you guys, if I drove over this cliff or off this bridge right now, we wouldn't really die. Like, somehow I knew none of it was really happening.
Yeah, and I do
bizarre.
remember it feeling dreamy. Like, I remember it kind of being like, if I were to touch something in Tortilla Flats, probably wouldn't feel it.
No one in the people with the baby, it was like they didn't know we were there. Like, we walked right past them and they didn't know we were there.
I didn't see them. I saw completely different people in Tortilla Flats. Over by the schoolhouse. So I had been there before, so I know what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Over by the schoolhouse, I saw a group of Asians taking pictures.
Well, that would be typical.
That would be typical.
Right.
But you didn't see them.
No, they weren't
and
there.
And I remember walking past them.
There was only the people with the baby and the guy that was inside that
on
wouldn't let
the
us
bench where you said you saw the couple,
Mm-hmm.
I saw an elderly Hispanic couple.
They were not there.
And they were staring me dead in the eye, just like kind of like almost in a way of like, get the fuck out of here.
It's not like we tried to go over this like a year later. We started going over this when we got into Mesa and we started driving, and the three of us were trying to figure out what had just happened. And then we started noticing that none of our stories were matching up.
And we've seen Tortilla Flats, so we know what the mannequin there looks like.
Right.
RJ,
the hung mannequin, the hung guy.
RJ did not know what it looked like.
He's described it completely differently than what it actually is.
Yeah.
But you and I had seen it before.
Yeah. So it was very odd.
It was like we weren't
He
there.
said it had a different eye color than it actually
And
has, a different hair
He
color,
said different outfit.
Completely
So it's almost
different.
like we weren't even there. And he remembers like a deer. There was no deer, but he doesn't remember any people there at all. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He didn't remember the people.
I remember a ton of people being there, which is odd for it being closed.
Right. And why was it closed? Why would it be closed? Maybe they closed early on Sundays.
And I remember.
Maybe we should look that up.
I remember. I mean, even if it closes early on Sundays, would it close at 1?
No. I don't know.
Like,
maybe they're not open on a Sunday. Well, then why was that guy inside there?
And you guys remember seeing a guy inside there, but when I looked in, I remember seeing a full dining room.
Full of people?
Full of people.
See, it's all different.
And I don't remember seeing the guy in there that was looking at us.
Just one guy with like pretty much looked at me like, nope.
I don't remember seeing that guy. I remember you guys saying that, and then I looked in and I saw a full dining room and no guy, and I was like, well, why can't we go in?
I remember pulling on the door and it was locked.
I remember you guys doing that, but then I looked in, there was a full dining room, and I was like, well, why can't we go in?
I don't know, but none of it makes any sense. And we started trying to match it up on the way home. We couldn't match it up. I remember RJ.
But we didn't do that until we hit town. We stopped in a CVS parking lot and started talking about it.
When we hit town, like, and RJ's phone started going off, he had like, I don't know how many texts from his mom. Like, his mom had been trying to text him and call him all day. And it was like, I think we lost about 6 hours in Superstition, and I don't know how, and I don't know why, but none of it made any sense, and all three of us have a different version of it, which makes me think that it was fake. Whatever we saw was fake.
It's almost like a
I think it started with that
dream.
It started at Goldfield.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because that was weird. And that's when it started feeling dreamy.
Yeah. Started at
because I remember being I'm usually not very tunnel visioned. I'm very aware of my surroundings. I remember being so tunnel visioned the whole time. It was like a video game where you can only see what's directly in front of you and you can't see out of your peripherals.
Right.
Which is weird. Because like, this is real life, not a video game.
I really think it was like
a screen memory or
like
something.
a screen
weird.
memory, like what they call a screen memory, or yeah. And the bird was definitely like a glitch of that was not real.
Yeah.
There are no birds like that, especially flying around Arizona. And it didn't look real. It looked like something out of Avatar. Like, I don't know. It was really bizarre.
It was a bizarre night.
It was a really bizarre
And we
thing.
didn't eat lunch or
we didn't
dinner.
get lunch or dinner.
But I don't remember when we got back being hungry.
No. We went directly to bed.
We went directly to bed.
Because we were exhausted from doing nothing.
Yeah.
All day.
I don't remember being hungry or anything, which is odd. Because I don't think I don't usually eat breakfast. That means I didn't eat that whole fucking day.
I didn't go back up to Goldfield for a really long time. I was kind of like freaked out to go near the Superstition. I was. After that, I was like, I ain't fucking going over there.
I don't think I have been back there.
Yeah.
Except for that one time
I have not been back to Tortilla Flats.
Yes, we have.
Have we? When?
That one time when we were forced to take that road.
Oh, yeah, when we had to go the back way into Payson.
And that's when RJ was with us, and we showed him what it looked like, and he's like, that's not what I remember it looking like.
You're right, I forgot about that. We took the back road into Payson when they shut down the Beeline.
Yeah, so we had to take that road into Payson, and we drove by Tortilla Flats, stopped there, ate there. It's the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah, we did eat there with Hannah.
Yeah, it was the 4th of July, so why would they be closed on a random day but not closed on the 4th of July? So we ate there.
You're right, we did, and he was like, this is not how I remember it
Yeah,
at
he's
all.
like, this isn't how I remember it at all. We ate there, and he did not remember it that way at all.
I forgot about that. But I don't think I've been back there since
I haven't been back there since then.
I went to Goldfield one time since then, but I don't know, I'm kind of creeped out by that whole thing. And then more recently, like within the last year, just playing around on YouTube and stuff, because I don't have cable anymore, so I just have like YouTube, Roku, Netflix.
Yeah.
So I get stuck watching stuff, and sometimes I'll watch something and then all of a sudden it recommends other stuff and I just let it play. You know, just like, since then I've actually seen like another report where people were talking about like losing time in the Superstition, and I thought about that. I was like, yeah, we had that happen to us, and I guess we're not the only people that have had that happen. That there are reports of that go all the way back to like the 1800s and stuff, of people losing time in the superstitions, which is
so crazy,
bizarre. But it was, yeah,
I don't fuck with the superstitions. I've never gone into the superstitions. I never want to.
a lot of people get lost there and they never come out.
Yeah.
They go into
And that was my whole theory.
They
when
go
I was
into
in
the
that
dimension where the land of the fuchsia birds.
My whole theory of it was, I remember talking about how people got lost in the superstition when we were driving past it. We were in that dream state, and I was talking about how people get lost because there's a snake in there.
You were talking about a giant snake living in there.
A giant snake.
I don't know if that's like a
there.
legend you heard about.
No. I was just, it came to my brain, and I was like, this is why.
None of it made any sense.
Like, it literally came to my brain, and I was like, guys, this is the reason people get lost in the superstition. There's a giant snake, and it creates tunnels, and it, like, you know, traps people in there. And I was, what? Like,
I don't know. They say Geronimo used to go in there, and they thought that he had, like, an interdimensional portal or something, and that's how he kept hiding from the army. But who knows? I don't know. It's very odd, and for me, it's the oddest one of all the stories because it's the one I can't explain.
There's no explanation.
It's the one I have the least amount of control over because I don't know what happened for those hours that disappeared.
Or where we were. Like, where we were in a car the whole time. Where'd the car go?
We weren't out of gas. We could not have driven around that amount of time. It still had the same amount of gas.
Exactly. You had the same amount of gas the entire time. So we could not have gone all the way up to Yucca Flats, or Tortilla Flats. Not all the way up to Tortilla Flats, and then all the way back and still had the same amount of gas.
Well, we would have had a lot less gas if we drove around for 5-6 hours, which we didn't do. It should have been a 3-hour tour, and we were gone till nighttime.
We were Gilligan's Island on that bitch. Like,
that was more like Lost than Gilligan's Island. It was more like, if you want to go on an island show, let's go Lost. And that did just like Lost. Doesn't make any sense, and I don't have an answer for you, so we're just gonna leave it like that, unanswered, which is frustrating as hell.
Maybe someone will have. Maybe someone out there will have some information.
Maybe somebody out there's got similar. Like, I've seen the fuchsia bird. You know, I don't know.
Do you think it was like a firebird?
No, because it was
like from legends.
Fuchsia legends.
Like the Native American legends.
You mean like a phoenix?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or
Are
like
they fuchsia?
Well, phoenix and firebirds are the same thing.
I don't know.
They're like fiery red.
The only thing I know of, like the Firebird or whatever, is like the one they use on the Firebird Raceway logo, or like, I don't know.
Well, who knows what color it actually
What
is?
are they
It's
supposed
myth.
to actually look like?
I don't know. It's a myth.
When people came up with that myth, they probably didn't have the big box crayons, so they didn't know the color fuchsia. Just like, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a Native American legend of the Firebird or the Phoenix.
Whatever it wasn't real.
No,
it didn't look real. It didn't look real.
That
it was
deer
a glitch.
certainly wasn't fucking real.
It was a glitch in the system.
That deer was not real because I remember him walking up to it and talking to it, but it wasn't fucking there.
You never saw the deer. He saw the deer.
I watched him walk up to it and there was nothing there.
See, I don't remember that at all.
He walked.
It's not like we split up when we got there. We were all together.
But he went across the street
as far as I remember.
He went across the street to go talk to this fucking deer that wasn't there, and I was watching
like
him
I said
do
before,
it.
we weren't on drugs. We weren't drinking.
Yeah.
she was a kid. I'm a good mom.
Yeah. I just wanted
It just didn't make
I just wanted
sense.
some Western lunch.
I just wanted to, I like the like the saloon girls with the feathers and the outfit.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
wanted.
kind of cool. And you know, you get a cowboy little shootout happening. Maybe take some Old West photos. I don't know if they do that up there. They should.
Yeah, I just wanted to have a good old yeehaw time, and I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I got a crazy weird
Maybe
time.
we'll get somebody comment on here. Like, I remember that we were taking pictures for such and such a magazine, and you got in our way, you assholes, or you know.
Let's hope.
And then somebody be like,
Honestly.
I lost my fuchsia bird kite in the Superstition, and
That'd be great. Honestly, I would love that.
that would explain stuff, except for the missing time.
And the different people we all saw,
Yeah.
and the weird tunnel vision, and the missing time, and the sun
And
not
everything
setting
else
at
that
8
didn't make
o'clock,
sense, and the sun not setting, or the sun still being up at 8 o'clock, but then turning off like instantaneously,
like a fucking light.
with no sunset. Just,
Yeah.
like we came over, and it was dark. Like just.
Didn't even set. It was in the middle of the sky, and then all of a sudden it was dark.
And the weird thing about it, it wasn't like we came over the thing and it was dark and we all went, holy fuck, what just happened? Is it the end of the world?
We didn't even notice.
We were just like, "Ah," like there's this weird euphoric feeling, like I don't care.
And what was weird about the sky is that even though even though the sun was in the middle of the sky, like it wasn't setting or anything, I remember the sky being pink.
I don't remember.
The sky was pink the entire time we were driving home.
Can't remember that either.
Yeah. So it looked
But
like it was
it's
setting,
well, like
but it
usually,
wasn't.
like if the sun just turns off on you abruptly, you would freak out, think like the end of the world is coming. But it was like we were in such like a relaxed, like almost like
just waking up out of your sleep.
a Twilight feel, like when they're gonna do dental operations on you.
Yeah, like right before you go under for
Like
your
before
wisdom
you, when they
teeth.
go count back from 10, you go 10. Like we were right there,
Yeah.
just like.
It was very odd,
And
we
that's
didn't
how
even
I felt.
we didn't realize any of it. We were all dead silent up until we got to CVS and parked, and we were like, "What the fuck
Once
happened?"
we got back into civilization, Mesa,
Yeah.
and then we were like, "What the hell just happened?" Like, and then we started, you know, hashing back and forth, like, and realizing that none of us really knew what happened or where the time went,
Yeah.
and I still don't know. I don't know.
All right, guys. If you have any answers or have any theories to what might have happened to us, let me know in the comments. Please like and subscribe. I post a new video every day except for Sunday. And all my links will be down in the description. Bye!